What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be previewing round 16 Port Adelaide versus Fremantle at Optus Stadium this Sunday twilight at 4:15 p.m. Our time. It's going to be a massive game of footy. A lot is riding on this one for Port in particular. Freo have dropped their last game against Carlton and will be looking to fire back in what's going to be a very fiery clash at Optus Stadium. Plenty to talk about in this preview, so let's get straight into it and look forward to round 16. Well, Port fans, this is the test that's going to be coming our way this week. A massive game at Optus Stadium. We haven't beaten Fremantle at Optus Stadium since the move in 2018. Obviously, 2018 we didn't play the Dockers over there, and yes we did. Sorry, we did, and we lost. In 2019 was a pretty similar result, and 2020 and obviously 2021 we did not play the Dockers over there due to COVID. So we're back for the first time since 2019, and it's going to have a surreal feeling to it. We've only beaten any Perth side at Optus Stadium twice, 2018 and 2019. So not 2018, just 2019. So an interesting game of football, and it's going to be something that I definitely think we're going to have a workout out for, because Fremantle will be wanting to bounce back after their loss to Carlton at Marvel Stadium last week. Meanwhile, coming from our end, it's Port Adelaide, beating Gold Coast just by 2 points in a pressurised game of footy. It was a very finals-like type atmosphere, which was great to see from a Gold Coast point of view, bringing the heat, and that really tested us. We had a great start, and I think that's something we've rectified a little bit of late, is our starts, and things start to click a little bit more for Port Adelaide in terms of those aspects and the way we've gone about things so far. So the little things are starting to click a little bit for us, but this is the test. An away trip to Perth against a Freo Docker outfit that are going to be fiery and ready to go. They're going to be wanting to bounce back. They're still in top four contention, and they're going to lose these types of games to Carlton as such. But they've beaten the Brisbane Lions, they've beaten the Demons, but Freo as such as well, with the dynamic of Fife coming back in, haven't looked as good. They will get Michael Walters back this week, which is a good change for them, obviously up forward with their forward pressure. I think overall, that's what the game's going to be won, is down in the forward half, and see who can exactly take their chances from what's going to be a very, very limited chances game for Port Adelaide, I feel. And overall, the change of Fife coming in as well is a dynamic Port Adelaide can adjust to. What Port Adelaide can't adjust to is a ruckman, and it'll be interesting to see at selection this week. Obviously, I'm filming this prior to selection, so I can only give you my thoughts on what's going to happen. And by the looks of it, obviously with Bonner going out with a cheekbone injury, which is so unfortunate. He finds plenty of the footy and does burn a few times, but I think that's what we've come to know about Bonner. But his year's been superb. We will get DBJ back this week. Darcy Byrne-Jones from his HS protocols. Tom Cleary comes back this week. Zach Putters is more than a sniff to play. Scotty Lysette is in contention. Orazio Fantasia. I'm listing these names and I'm getting a bit excited at the fact that these blokes are going to come in continually for the fact that the players we've had come in have done their job. But the likes of Frederick straight out, Bonner straight out, Mackenzie will come straight out. So there's your three changes straight away. DBJ, Cleary, and I think who else comes in? There's going to be question marks about who else comes in. Does Motlop go back out? Meady, does he get another go? There's so many options to bring in for Port Adelaide this week, and it'll be a harder selection, I really feel. I don't think Scotty Lysette comes in first game back and plays Sean Darcy. That's a bit of a stretch for me after a shoulder reco, and I've been there. You don't want to come back straight away and really test yourself against one of the better ruckmen in the competition. Meanwhile, you've got Finlayson and Dixon going to go at it as one of the premier ruckmen in the comp. They can be exposed around the ground, and Sean Darcy can be exposed in that way, and I think that'll be a great asset for us if we do go down the Finlayson aspect. But we saw with Witsy, Jared Witts from Gold Coast last week, that in the ruck, then the midfield doesn't work hard enough and they get caught out. We adjusted to that well in the second half last week, but I think the way we were able to we couldn't manipulate the contest as such with just Witts bashing the ball 50 metres from a ruck contest. So we're going to have to adjust to that, and whether or not we play a ruckman. Sam Hayes won't come in. That's going to be a damn fact. I think that is almost a given. We either bring back Lysette early or Dante Vizentini gets a debut. It's the two options, I think, if you're going to bring a ruckman in, or you stay with the flow and you keep Finlayson and Dixon as your combo ruckman and see how that pans out. This time last year, if we had these types of injuries, I'm almost saying, like Zach Butters did his injury, and I'm sitting here going, don't rush him back. That was last year. This year, I'm like, you know what? If he's fit to go and they tick it off, get him in there. We need everything possible going right for us to get into finals anyway. I think we may as well risk it and try and go for it. There's no point pulling the pin. We've had 2 great wins on the trot. We've been in every game. We're 7-2 after 5 rounds, after round 5, and that's what the main contrast is that 0-5 is what's holding us back from what should be a top 4 place at the moment. That's where this is getting risky. This will get desperate, and this is a game we must win. It's as simple as that. Port Adelaide have to beat Fremantle in Perth, then come back and play GWS. If we can beat Freo in Perth, now we've been told, and people keep throwing out scenarios, to win and make finals. This is the game that I've pinpointed. There's games we can drop along the way. I think 1 or 2 is about the max we can drop. Fremantle is not the game we can drop. I think this is the game that if we win, then we'll go into GWS next week and we should beat them. Then we'll go into the Ds and have a sniff in Darwin. We come back against Geelong, and then we go to the MCG. And, all these games start to line up. And I'm not saying we will make it. I'm not saying we're going to beat these teams. I'm saying that these are the games you pinpoint. And what a great victory. Game alone, playing in Perth and travelling there and winning is in itself absolutely fantastic. We had Matthew Primus on Pairs on a pod just not long ago, and he was saying that his favourite memories and his favourite wins were the trips to Perth because it was such a hostile environment against a very good outfit, and when he used to play a decent West Coast side, and now we've got to play a decent Fremantle side, and it's these types of trips that can really galvanise you and change your season. We beat Sydney, had a great win. That's a season changer. Gold Coast winning against, sort of pretty much against the flow, and finding a way to win. It's these games that now you come up against a Freo side. Freo ended our season in 2018. Right? They basically turned our momentum on its head. This is where we can come out and say, we're going to beat Freo. They are gettable, Freo. No, don't get me wrong. They're a very good outfit. They're a top 4 outfit for this year, I believe. But they are gettable. We've seen the way Hawthorn played. They brought the fight to them and nearly caused an upset. We've seen them lose to the Gold Coast Suns. We've seen them beat Melbourne, beat Brisbane. So they get themselves up for the big games, but they're gettable in the games that they think they're going to win. And obviously losing to Carlton last week is a bigger margin than probably they expected, but they're still capable. And that's where I'm a bit concerned. And they've got Sarong in there. They've got Frederick up forward, and the way they move around. Their defensive unit's fantastic, but they're gettable. And that's all I'm going to say about Freo, because I think overall our game stacks up. We've just got to execute it, and the key is kicking goals and kicking straight. And I think if we can kick 15 goals this week, we win. That brings me to my tip, and I'm tipping Port Adelaide. I think we do win. For some reason, I just got this inkling that we go to Perth and win. 8 points. It's going to be another tight game. It's going to test the heartstrings like it did last week against the Suns. And I think overall we're just going to be expecting a massive game. And I just want some fight. I want some class and showcase what we can do against top sides and give it a go, Port fans. I think that's the best thing we can do is just keep on giving it a go. See what happens. Put everything out on the park and not play this reserve footy. Play to our strengths and just dominate and try what we believe will work. Well, Port fans, that is my preview, I should say, of Port Adelaide versus Fremantle for this week, round 16. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts of this week's game, what's going to be happening with selection and a tip as well. Keep subscribing if you can, and if you haven't subscribed, jump on board. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button and join the fun for the rest of the 2022 season. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Anthony, and as always, count the pair.